Hey guys, new video here talking about how important is Karst and Vendiri. Get a lot of questions about like, I found this blueprint, that blueprint, I'm running the 13, the 15, the 17 currency rune blueprint. This one I can do like 4 Karst, 4 Vendiri. This one I can only do like 2 Karst, 2 Vendiri. This one I can do like 4 Karst, 2 Vendiri. Like which one is good? I'm running this contract. Do I always run Vendiri? Do I always run Karst? Which one do I mix and match? So I wanted to like kind of put the math out there and also associate that with the actual gameplay, as it turns out there is a very meta strategy right now to run a really juiced up fracture blueprint. And also people like running specific contracts and specific kind of like layouts and end game rewards. So I think that this will kind of help people decide, do I really need like this master, like super juiced up, super min maxed? So let's get right into it. So first, the patch that hit, why is this important? And why do I have like this like little paint thingy up here? The paint thingy, it basically shows 2 situations, okay? Whether Vendiri and the brooch is multiplicative or whether it is additive. So what the patch did, if you don't know, is that, actually let me just close this first. We'll talk about the important stuff. So the patch made the brooch work, okay? That first line, heist chests have a 50% chance to duplicate contained currency. If you run a grand heist, you have 3 rogues with you. That triples it, right? So 45% chance to duplicate. That didn't work the entire league. Pretty hilarious, right? So it finally works, and it 100% works. It just acts like a Vendiri in the fact that it'll just duplicate the chest and all the currency inside. So things like even chests that aren't like tagged as like the actual currency, like the Child's Orb, it'll be like a Harbinger chest. Things like for some reason like stacked dicks are counted as currency, which is pretty cool, right? So it'll duplicate that, and of course in small chests as well, it will work. Okay, so if a small chest has currency in it, like the Alich, the Child's, the whatever divine orbs, exalted, whatever, it will have a chance of doubling that. Once again, you have 3 of these min max, you'll have 45% chance. Another interesting thing is that currency that is not in a currency chest will also be doubled. For example, if you open an armor or a weapons chest, what kind of currency are you going to find? Well, you're going to find jewelers and fusings, right? So that kind of currency, and even like things like armor scraps, like blacksmith whetstones, things like this, if you show them on your filter, these little things will be duplicated as well, even if that chest was not a specific currency chest. Okay, this is like kind of interesting because it leads to like the gumball currencies being pretty cool, right? Let me just show you real quick and why this is a little bit important, I guess, because if you look at my stash tab here, I've never bought armor scraps, I never bought blacksmith whetstones, I never bought GCPs, and this is like quality currency, right? And however, horizon orbs too. However, look how many I have, right? And you might be like, well, you can't really sell those for exalts or whatever, right? It's like kind of worthless, or like, see, it's not worth your time. Well, what if you run out of portal or wisdom scrolls? Well, then you absolutely can sell these, right? Look at this. If I do this, then I don't, that's one less trade that I have to do, and like not very see that? So you can like kind of do that to stock up on portals, and of course you can sell the wisdoms for the portals. But yeah, that's just to show that like the brooch mod, right, has a far-ranging implications for the currency that you will be picking up. Okay, so let's get back on topic. How important are Karst and Vendiri? If you don't know, Karst, what he does is his perk is when you open a big chest. For example, if we look at this planning table here, you see these icons right here, like the currency, the Harbinger, the unique, the div. These are big chests. There are 2 of them behind each of these locked doors. The small chests, they don't show on the blueprint, but you know what they are. They're little tiny chests that show up on the map. You can just go click on them, and they can have a random assortment of things. And once again, reiterating that small chests are always the same in every duped blueprint, no matter what it is. There might be a couple swaps, but they're always in the same area, kind of the same area, and always sometimes even in the same exact chest. Okay. So, do you actually need Vendiri and Karst? Because Vendiri doubles it at the cost of raising your alert level, so overall you'll be able to open less total amount of chests, and then Karst lowers it. So the actual answer to that is like only if you are unable to open an important chest does it matter. And what I mean by that is like, let's just take a look at the scariest wing of this very popular 17 currency blueprint. So if you take a look, that wing is right here. Now surprisingly, this one is actually flipped. Like when you actually run this wing, it's like flipped and then tilted like 30 degrees or something. But regardless, right? So why is this wing scary? This wing, the third wing, is scary because when you put on a +1 jobs Karst or Vendiri, you get to put him right here. If you don't have the +1 jobs to him, you said that says +1, you can't really run him, right? So what's gonna go? Oh my god, not like this. No, oh no, not like this. Hold on. They're saying the dialogue thingy. Sound dialogue. Okay, save. So if you look right here, when you put on Vendiri, you have some good chests here, but for whatever reason, like this wing is like kind of hard to open everything without the level like getting jacked up. So when you go in here, you're gonna encounter like the currency chest as always, but you cannot open this unique room. If you open both the double chests in this unique room, right, because you don't have Karst, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be like really scrambling to get these before the lockdown, right? So like I've done it sometimes when I'm not paying attention, and you open some unique chests, and then by the time you get to these two rooms, right, usually you go, the Harbinger is before the currency room. You might have to like do this weird thing where you run ahead, you unlock this door, you open this door, and you go look at the rewards to know whether you can like skip them, or if you know exactly which one, so there's no extra seconds wasted choosing what you're gonna get, and you're gonna get the safes too, right? So you might have to like go all the way forward, like skipping these three, check the rewards, and then what you do is worst case scenario, if you open both of these, you're gonna start here, you're gonna hit these two, and then you're gonna go here and grab it really, and you might have a few seconds left. Pretty hilarious. This is like with no plus seconds to alert level or anything like that, or increase, so like it can be pretty hilarious. If you don't hit them, what will usually happen is the last chest in here allows you to dash down here, get both these chests, and run in, and you'll still have a lot of time on the alert timer, and you can kind of take your time on the things. And then if you get a little bit lucky on like not generating an alert, or like, you know, for some random reason you didn't accidentally hit any small chests or something, you might even be able to hit these before the alert goes off and go here. So in a room that's like kind of scary, if you are running fractured blueprints, yes, I guess Karst matters, because if you had Karst here, let's say instead of maybe Talina or especially like Niles, because Talina herself is a less modifier, then you'd be able to easily stroll in, open every chest, every big chest, open some of the small chests, even though this wing I don't think has any like a small currency chest guaranteed, so you can just skip all the small chests. And then you'd be able to go to the reward room and take your leisurely time, just look at all the rewards and pick the best one and not feel stressed at all, okay? So once again, in situations where Karst would allow you to open the important rooms, he would matter, okay, in situations like this. However, if we think about this from a more macro perspective, right, when have you ever gotten something good out of a unique chest? I know I haven't. One time, I've been running these like juiced, split blueprints all day long, and one time I got two intuitive leaps, which were like 40 each. I know, I guess now it's like 40, 240 C is like, it's like almost like 3 results. But like, that's like the only time where I was like, oh, cool, maybe I can corrupt those and get something good. I actually did corrupt them, and I think I got self-flagellation on both of them. So I actually lost like the ADC. But you know, the unique chest is widely agreed by most people who run contracts and blueprints to be straight garbage, okay? To the point where you're not going to use it. If you're running ouch and go blueprints, you're not going to use any of the reveals to reveal it. Now, I have seen people get a double badge of the Brotherhood unID'd. On Reddit, there's a guy that got an unID'd Headhunter, 2 of them, right, because of Vendiri. Okay, that's going to happen to someone. It's not going to happen to you, okay? So in a more macro perspective of like, do you actually need to grab this if you had Vendiri? No, you don't need to. So in this wing, the scariest wing in this entire in the Meta blueprint, you actually don't need Karst, right? Because you can get this, you can get all the currencies, the Harbinger, the Div, and of course the display room. Now, if you really like uniques, there is a small chest in between here that swaps locations between these. There's a chest in here before the exit, and there's a small chest in here before the Div room, and one of those will have guaranteed uniques in them. I guess you could hit that on your way out because you have a Niles. You can use the Niles special perk to open that even after lockdown, okay? If you care. But in this situation, it doesn't matter. And so going forward, if you ever run this blueprint, you know that none of the other ones really matter either, because you either have a Karst or the Karst wouldn't matter. For example, this is a popular one right here. Like, look at this. We have 4 nodes and we have the 2 uniques. In this wing, you can pretty much get everything because you don't have like the Vendiri doubling, of course, right? If you did have the Vendiri more alert, you might have to skip the unique rooms, right? You'd have to skip the 2 unique rooms, but you could absolutely get the map room and these 4 rooms. Okay, hold on a second. That's my phone. So Karst doesn't really matter here as well. Now, VIndiri, obviously you want him on there just because like the extra doubling potential, but he's been reduced in effectiveness because slightly because of the brooches interacting with these. So look how many currency things are here, right? There's like 17 of them. So on each of these, I would say 90 to 95% at least of your monies comes from the currency chest. So if you didn't have VIndiri, it's fine because you have 45% worth of brooches. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're not going to do this type of content and you're just going to ouch and go, what does Karst actually do? Well, because Karst only affects the big chests, I guess I can just show you with a lockpicking contract real quick, so that this really drives home that you need to think about what you're doing and what situations might arise, and you shouldn't like just listen to someone say like, oh, you have to have Karst and VIndiri on every wing. That's like the best. That it's and sometimes it could be wrong or it could not matter. So this is an 83. This is like, I think it's like 5C, 6C or whatever on TFT, but I'm not even gonna run it for you. I'm just gonna show you something. So if I open this thing right here, okay, lockpicking has a chance of currency. It also has fragments and jewelry, I believe. So let's take a look at this layout. So because we know that Karst only affects big chests, what are our big chests? Well, let's take a look here. As you can see, we have one of these currency nodes. So Karst would only affect that one node. Okay, how many small chests do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what this means is that for anything except for this currency room, Karst is completely useless, right? I mean, you could say, yeah, okay, I can open the jewelry room. Maybe I guess synthesize like Arcane Surge, synthesize Onslaught Ring, like whatever crazy stuff you can get, right? Maybe get some like Intimidate or some like Curse Ring or what have you, okay? I've opened a lot of these. I got a vulnerability on Hit Thing once. That was pretty cool, I guess. Sold for like 50C. But really, is it worth your time now? Especially after this latest patch, like the job speed has like somehow been bugged out, so it's longer. Is it really worth your time for these rooms? Well, maybe. But if you look at like this one, right? Like let's say you like accidentally hit a bunch of chests and now your alert level's doing pretty bad. Because after the patch from a few weeks ago, we call this like non-legacy, right? Like after the patch, we have non-legacy contracts. You can see that the layouts are pretty short, right? So even if you're in trouble and you didn't have a Karst or something and you need to grab an important thing, you probably have enough time, right? Even if you only like 20 seconds, you probably can run from there to there and then maybe even do a job in between. So in this example, okay, Karst is not even like that good. Okay, because the small chest, once again, he does not affect those in any way, shape, or form. Going back to the blueprint example, there's only 4 rooms with guaranteed, or 4 small chests with guaranteed currency, but in one of the wings, there's 3 of them, right? So in that example, Karst wouldn't do anything to those 3 currency chests. That's like 3 currency chests that you get no benefit out of Karst from, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to show, that it's not always just get Karst, get this guy, get the other guy, like get Karst, get VIndiri, and you have to have those. That is fake news, and you shouldn't worry too much about that, okay? However, it is like pretty stress-free to get those 2, and maybe like a Ninette or a Talina, right? Because they have less multipliers. Now, let's go into the math and why this is and this will help highlight the reasons why VIndiri, depending on how many currency rooms you actually care about or how much currency room generating contracts or blueprints that you're actually farming, why this is not really a big deal anymore for VIndiri. And I will go over the math here. So I've typed this out, and so the top one is additive, bottom one is multiplicative. Now, before I say anything, we know for a fact that they don't roll separately. What I mean that is, if you click on a currency chest and your brooches, right, if they proc and they double the chest for a reason, okay, there is never going to be a situation where VIndiri then doubles it afterwards. So if let's say you drop an exalt, like a natural exalt from a currency chest, and then your brooches, right, you have 3 of them min max for 15%, which is the math right here, right? You have 3 of them, 45%. They proc like, whoom, and then like you get two exalts now. Oh wow, congratulations. and then it'll never be the situation where Vendiri can double any of those. Okay, you know what I mean? So or both of them. So that'll never ever happen. I promise you this. It has never happened. If you have video evidence of this, you can submit it to me, but I'm telling you that's not how it works. So because that'd be pretty crazy, right? Because like, what if your chest dropped 2 exalts and then your brute just double the 2 into 4 exalts, Vendiri procs, so there's like 23% chance. Now you have like 8 exalts. Okay, it's not gonna happen. So that's an important 100% guaranteed. We know this for a fact. What we don't know is if it's additive or multiplicative, and maybe not in the way that you think, right? Because when we say additive, most people think like, do they roll together separately? But it kind of like is like that, but not really. So the additive would mean, because if you look at Vendiri's stats right here, I have +1 all jobs Vendiri, which means that my Vendiri, that's +1 all jobs, he has 23% chance to duplicate. Okay, and so that means that with that number in mind, we have the 23 plus the 45% from the brooches, which means, wow, you have a whopping 68% chance to duplicate your currency rooms, especially. And then remember, Vendiri can still double other things, but 68% chance whenever there's like currency involved. Wow, that's pretty damn good, right? So you might think, I really need Vendiri on every single wing, but that's just not the case if it is multiplicative, either if you don't like if you weren't to have them, right? Because let me show you why. So if you don't have them, then the math is really easy, because just 45% chance for the brooches if Vendiri is nowhere in that blueprint or that wing or whatever. So then let's look at the multiplicative math of if you have both the min-max brooches, 3 of them on one of them on each character, so it doesn't matter which rogues you take. So 45%, the way that you have to do it, right, is you have to take the chance not to duplicate. And the reason for that is because if you this is like, okay, this is like, I'm not really that good at math or anything, so maybe I'm not a very good explainer of this, but if you take a decimal and then you multiply another decimal, that's gonna be smaller, right? That's gonna be a smaller number than you started with on either of the decimals. And so because of that, if you have a chance to do something that's a decimal or a percentage, and you have another chance to do something, if you multiply together, it will become a smaller chance to get that thing. So which wouldn't make sense, right? Because you have 2 chances of it. So you need to take the chance not to do that thing and multiply them with each other. So in here, the math becomes my brooch has a 45% chance to duplicate the currency. So I need to do 1 minus 45 to find out what is my chance not to duplicate it. So right here, it's 55% chance. And then my Vendiri, that roll is, he has a 23% chance to dupe. So he has a 77% chance not to dupe. So how do we find out what are our chances if it's multiplicative all happening, if it's multiplicative after each other, but then rolling the chest at the same time? Well, then you need to take your chance, right? Because like our thing that we want to know is like our chance not to dupe it. So we take 0.55 times 0.77, which is before you click on the chest. That's your odds not to dupe the thing. And then obviously, if that's our chance not to dupe the thing, then 1 minus that, right, as you see right here, right, then that is our chance to duplicate it. Okay, so believe the math is correct. Okay, just believe me on this. And so then when we look at these numbers, you are at 57.65% chance to duplicate the currency chest. So why do these two numbers matter, right? These two numbers right here, 68% and 57.65%. Well, it matters because we're talking about, like, this whole video is about, is Karst or Vendiri like absolutely necessary? Like how important are they? Well, if you take off the Vendiri, especially for a dupe blueprint, if you're running like these like juicy currency based blueprints, if you take off Vendiri off every single wing, okay, because remember, most of your profits come from the currency chest, then you have a 45% base chance, right? So if it works the additive way, okay, sure, you lose a 23%, okay, whatever. You're still close to half the chance to duplicate it. And then if it works the second way, multiplicative, right? And we don't know this yet because nobody's like gone through and like clicked every chest and like tracked the data. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I forgot like halfway in, and then now the data's ruined, right? So, but it's very easy to find out if you just do a ton of these. Which one of these it actually is. I don't know which one it is. I don't care, because like it's duping everything. Okay, this patch is crazy, but like literally everything's getting duped. It's really nuts. So I'm more inclined to think it's additive, but who knows, right? So so if you take 57 minus 45, well, that's only like, you're only getting a benefit of like 12.6%. So is that really like that crazy? Not really, right? I mean, obviously these changes make the variance smaller, right? Like unlucky streaks will be smaller, lucky streaks will be more often if you have higher percentages, right? That's just how the statistics work. But overall, it's just to kind of highlight that you really have to think about what is your Vendiri and your Karst really there for, and don't just try to get like always like Vendiri, always Karst on everything you do, because it might not be like really that great. And to give you another example of this is that if you were to run something, let's say you had something that you could choose a Nanette for a reason, okay? So Nanette is the most beastly less multiplier in the entire game, because if you look at Nanette here, right? Nanette has with a +1 thing here, she has 23% less raising of alert level from anything. Okay, anything. You open a small chest, that works. Open a big chest, that works. You get nailed by the observer totem. Okay, you know, like those little like really skinny hallways go, and maybe you're not fast enough, you're not paying attention, you go bing bing bing. The observer totems like ping you like a few times. Works for that. So in every sense, Nanette is actually like the most globally juicy modifier to less alert level, I'd say, especially if you're not doing the juiced blueprints, not Karst. So Nanette's like really OP. It's just like she has limited use, right? Because like if you look right here, she doesn't have lockpicking or anything, so she's like perception, counterthaumaturgy, you know, pretty good. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you need to think like a lot of the time it's not just straight up Karst Vendiri, although they are very good together. And if you can get a Nanette or a Talina, right, because Talina is also less multiplier, then that is pretty cool as well. Okay, but on lots of these things, you know, faced with the choice of what you're actually going to open and what you've revealed in your wings, just think about it a little bit more critically. And if you're shuffling blueprints, which means making rare of the same eye level, same type, like same name, for example, like records office, if you're shuffling by selling 5 to 1 to try to find like that really juicy one, maybe you think about like, you know, this data here, and don't worry so much about the Karst Vendiri kind of meta. Okay, so that's kind of the video I wanted to make, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any more questions, you can ask me on my stream in the evenings at twitch.tv/kujo_. Okay, thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye guys, bye.